Tonight, after a high-stakes closed-door meeting with House Democrats, Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
Pelosi, who for months had resisted those impeachment calls, making the dramatic move after more than 75% of House Democrats demanded action.
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
The president tonight firing back on Twitter, calling Pelosi's move more breaking news witch hunt garbage and presidential harassment. The Democrats' declaration sparked by the president's July phone call with Ukraine's president. Tonight, President Trump tweeting that he's authorized the release of the complete, full, declassified, and unredacted transcript of the conversation tomorrow.
We have the whole transcript of the call, which will be released tomorrow, and comments will be put with respect. It was a perfect call.
President Trump insisted he never mentioned withholding military aid on that call, arguing there was no quid pro quo that Ukraine investigate Joe Biden and his son Hunter. But earlier today, the president acknowledged he initially delayed that aid over frustrations Europe wasn't paying its fair share.
My complaint has always been, and I'd withhold again, and I'll continue to withhold until such time as Europe and other nations contribute to Ukraine, because they're not doing it.
Two administration officials tell NBC News the military aid was put on hold 1 week before the Ukraine call. The controversy erupted after a whistleblower complaint that, according to the Washington Post, President Trump pressured the Ukrainian president to investigate Hunter Biden, who was given a paid position on the board of a Ukrainian company while his father was vice president. There has been no evidence of wrongdoing by Biden, who today called for the president to cooperate with Congress or be impeached.
But if we allow a president to get away with shredding the United States Constitution, that will last forever.
All of it setting up a political gamble for Nancy Pelosi, where the Democratic-controlled House could vote for impeachment, but the Republican-run Senate could give the president a victory following a trial. Republicans blasting the Democrats' push for impeachment now.
If you're sad that Donald Trump was elected president, my advice to you is to fill out a hurt feelings report and let us move on and run government. In another year and a half, you'll get a chance to vote again.
The president tonight, defiant.
I think it's ridiculous. It's a witch hunt. I'm leading in the polls. They have no idea how they stop me. The only way they can try is through impeachment.
Tonight, President Trump is complaining that Democrats never even saw a transcript of that call before acting, while Pelosi is demanding the administration turn over the whistleblower complaint on Thursday.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.